Welcome to another Bandology interview. Bandology is a Canadian nonprofit dedicated to more music for more kids via education, collaboration, and community.
Hi everyone, my name is Lucas Redwood and I'm the music manager with Bandology. I'm here with Joel Haynes. How are you today, Joel?
I'm doing good, Lucas. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Joel is a freelance musician currently living in Burlington, Ontario, and is a graduate from McGill's jazz program. So Joel, can you start off by telling us about when you first started playing music?
Okay, well, I jotted down here that I got my first drum set when I was 5, if we want to take it all the way back. But just playing music, it was rock bands in grade 6, grade 7 at Central Public School. And those guys that I met at Central, um, we started a couple of rock bands, and at that time it was ska music and the Police and the Specials and all the 80s tunes. And I'm still friends with them today. So music keeps everybody together, that's for sure.
Nice, that's awesome. And after you graduated from McGill, were there any difficulties during the start of your career that you experienced? And if so, how did you overcome them?
You know what? Not really. I was kind of one of the lucky ones where I was gigging while I was going to McGill. We had a regular Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the student pub, jazz weekends, and we would have special guests. I was in the rhythm section, at the house rhythm section, and we would have our teachers come down and be special guests, and so I kind of got known for that. And then when I graduated, it just kind of kept going. So I was fortunate to be one of those guys that could play while at school, and as you know, Jackson's my son. He's at school with you, and I've said to him, you need to go out and play whenever you can. Doesn't matter if it's $1, $10, $100. Just go out and play. And that's what I did.
It's really cool and awesome that you got that opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fun.
So moving to more of the teaching side of things, what led you to want to start your own drum studio and teach lessons for young musicians, including myself? I really enjoyed taking lessons with you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you were here for a couple of years, weren't you? Yeah. Well, I started the Haynes drum studio when we moved from Montreal to Toronto in 2000 or 1999, and arrived in Toronto, and I was unknown, right? So I knew a couple of drummers, and they threw me some gigs here and there. So I was subbing for people, but I needed an income. So I thought, well, I guess I should just start teaching. And it just started from there. So, and then we were in Toronto for a couple of years, and then I went on tour for a couple of years with the show Cats. And then when we came back, we moved, instead of going to Toronto, we moved to Burlington. And that's when I got my studio and really ramped it up.
Awesome. So kind of shifting directions, you are also a faculty member at the Interprovincial Music Camp.
Yes.
Which I had the opportunity to attend as I was younger. Can you describe a little bit about your experience as drum faculty at IMC?
Sure. Well, I'm on the jazz camp, the jazz faculty. The week that I'm up there, it's the rock camp, and then the jazz camp. They run parallel. We've got one side of the camp, and they have the other side. And this is going to be my third year going up there in August. It's great. It's 6 days, 5 days, 5 nights, 6 days of just one-on-one. I do drum group lessons, like a master class. And then one-on-one, and then I've got a combo, and then I do like a jazz materials class where we listen to different drummers, different recordings, and it's in August and it's beautiful, right? So we're outside, we're listening to Elvin Jones and Brian Blade and Jack DeJohnette, and it's a lot of fun. And the kids that are there, this is the most important thing, Lucas. The kids that are there want to be there, so they're just sucking it up. They're like, I can't give them enough information. They're just loving it. And then every night is a faculty concert. And so that's a lot of fun. So I bring up some of my tunes from my albums that I've done. Other faculty members bring up some originals tunes. And one's a big band night, and then some small group stuff, and maybe like an octet one night. So it's a lot of fun. And then when the day is done, I'm sure you've done this, once all the teachy day is done, before the faculty concert, a lot of the kids get together and jam and just work things out and have fun also. That time between dinner and the faculty concert is kind of like free time. So you can swim, you can kite, you can canoe, you can jam, you can just listen to music, you can go on a hike, you know. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. So earlier you mentioned musician Terra Lightfoot, and you've done some touring with her. Can you describe a bit about a day in the life for you as a touring musician?
Okay, well, with Terra Lightfoot, it was a rock band. So going on tour with the jazz quartet is completely different than going on tour with Terra Lightfoot. They say if you know you've made it in as a rock musician is when you have a touring bus. And jazz musicians say you know you've made it when you're flying everywhere instead of driving everywhere, right? So that's one difference. But we'll talk about Terra's band. I was with her for 6 years touring, and there were a couple of years, I would say year 5 and 6, very extensive touring. I was out for probably 20 to 25 days a month. And so it's a lot of fun, but a lot of work. So a day in the life. So we're in Australia. And last day of Australia, we're flying to Japan. Always waking up early. So gig the night before. You get about five hours sleep, if you're lucky. Head to the Sydney airport. We find out that something's gone wrong with the keyboard player's visa. He stays in Australia. We fly to Tokyo, and then we do the 2-week tour in Tokyo without a keyboard player. So
that sounds rough.
So things like that happen, right?
Yeah.
He eventually joined up with us at the end of the the Japan tour, and then from there we went to the States and then kept going. But things like that happen.
Yeah. Moving back into sort of the teaching side, what kind of approaches do you like to take when teaching music?
Well, teaching one-on-one drums, it's all about having fun. So each student, I don't have like a formula that I go by. Basically, well, you know what? I guess I do have some sort of a rubric. It's rudiments, learn something fun, review, and a little bit of homework for the next lesson. So paradiddles, rolls, working on chops on the drum set, maybe transcribing a Foo Fighter tune or whatever tune that the student wants to learn, and then a little bit of review of all of that, and maybe a carrot dangling for next week. Oh, well, since we did this tune, I think you should do this tune next week. Let's check it out. And that would be the homework of, or Lucas, why don't you bring in a tune next week? Right? We've done that before.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And by learning tunes, I'm kind of sneaking in all these drum set techniques while you're learning the tune. So you've got different level tunes, like, you know, I'm not saying they're bad or worse, but like Beatles tunes, nice entry level tunes. And then you've got like some pop tunes like Maroon 5, and then come the Rush tunes and the Foo Fighters, Zeppelin, you know, and then the students learn that, oh, well, in year 3, I can do YYZ. And if I do YYZ, then I can do In Bloom by Nirvana, or, you know, certain tunes have a certain skill level. And,
Yeah.
And they figure that out. And then they're like, oh, well, at the recital, I'm playing Rush tune. So what are you playing? You know, sort of thing. Like a status symbol, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I have a couple more questions for you. One
Sure.
of them is, why do you think music education is important?
Well, first of all, to pass on what I've learned on to the next person. And correct me if I'm wrong, Lucas, music is fun, right?
Yes, it is so much fun.
You came to me to have fun. So we're learning tunes, and tunes that you're learning, you're getting together with your buddies, and you're jamming out in the garage or the basement, and that's creating friendships, and it's creating positivity and just what's the word? Just having self-motivation of practicing. So if I practice, I can get to this level and play with these guys and hang out with these guys and play these tunes. Maybe we can even go and play a gig and people can hear us, right? So that whole evolution of starting with, oh my goodness, I don't think I'd be able to do this, paradiddle, up to, hey, one of my old students is playing at the club down the street. I'm going to go see Lucas play. So it's great. It's great to see that transition from start to finish.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for that, Joel.
Mm.
And so we like to end off our interviews with a set of fast 5 questions.
Okay.
All right. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First question. What is your favorite movie soundtrack?
I don't know if you've seen this movie. It's called Mo Better Blues. It's about a jazz trumpet player, and about him playing in clubs and some other stuff. And the drummer in the movie, his name is Jeff Tane Watts, and he's an actual jazz drummer. Played with Wynton Marsalis and Branford Marsalis, and one of my favorite jazz drummers. So I keep asking students if they've seen this movie, but it's an older movie. It's probably like I don't know, probably like late 90s, but it stars Denzel Washington. He's the trumpet player.
Nice.
Yeah, great soundtrack.
I'll have to check it out. I haven't actually watched it, but yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, check it out.
How about instrument you wish you played?
The electric bass.
Nice.
Electric bass players are super cool. You know, just hanging there, standing next to the hi-hat, just grooving.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, for sure. This is a harder one. How about hidden talent?
A hidden talent. Well, COVID brought this to the forefront. DIY projects.
Ah,
I built a raised garden bed in the backyard. It's a 12 foot by 6 foot by 4 feet, and it's got a little gate. It's a walk-in, so it's two garden on one side and the garden at the top. And so we're growing some carrots and onions and strawberries, green beans, red peppers, green peppers. Not right now, but like in the summertime. So I built that last summer. I put down, Jackson and I put down a patio. We got rid of the pool. We had an above ground pool. Got rid of that, put down a nice patio with a fire pit, and so we did that, and redid my kitchen 3 years ago.
Ah, nice.
I didn't do it all by myself, but I did the demo, and I did some drywalling. I finished the closet, put up the barn door, sliding barn door for the closet. So yeah, DIY projects. I'm getting handy, Lucas.
Cool. Nice. Dream vacation spot.
Oh, right. Yeah, I read this, and I said, well, being on the cruise ship, anywhere in the Caribbean. One of my favorite islands is Aruba. And there's a jazz festival in Aruba every summer. And so my dream vacation would be to play with Herbie Hancock and Ron Carter with the Joel Haynes Trio in Aruba at the jazz festival.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. It might happen. Who knows?
It might happen, yeah. And last but not least, your favorite concert you've attended.
Okay. So I have a two-part answer for that. I got to see Elvin Jones live in Toronto at the Bermuda Onion, just on the outskirts of Chinatown. So that was like a bucket list check off, and I got to shake his hand and I got to talk to him, which was amazing. But the second one is the concert that I'm going to see in July, is the Foo Fighters.
I really want to see the Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Santa Claus brought 4 tickets to the Foo Fighters for the Haynes family to go in July.
Nice. That's awesome.
Looking forward to that. I haven't seen Taylor Hawkins live, and I haven't seen Dave Grohl live. And as you know, I love the Foo Fighters, and my students hit me to it. One of the students, probably about 6 or 7 years ago, brought in Rope. I'm like, who is this band? This tune is amazing.
I remember playing that one. I love Rope. Rope's a great tune.
It's got the drum solo thing in the middle.
Yeah.
So, Elvin Jones and Foo Fighters.
Nice. That's so cool how you got to see Elvin.
Yeah. I was in high school. It was just before I went to McGill.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much, Joel, for taking the time to share a bit about your experience and your background in music.
Thanks, Lucas, and good luck with Bandology. Very proud of you.
Thank you. We're actually going to have a quick surprise performance video from Joel here. It's actually featuring him and Jackson. So check this out, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining us. If you like what you heard, you can learn more about our organization at bandology.ca, which features information about music education, advocacy and research, and our Play a Gig and Bandcamp programs. Follow us on social media for more videos, performance, and interviews on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.